Good morning, y'all. Welcome to our channel. I'm Tracy. I'm the keeper of the home here at 4D Farms, and we got another project going on today. I'm messy hair, don't care. I got to get this project started because we're dealing with onions today. Oh my gosh. I did the first part last night while the grandkids were not here because I knew if I didn't, it would bother their eyes because it did me. I was crying all night in the kitchen. So this morning, I've got one here and I've got to hurry up and get these things finished before it starts bothering our eyes. I didn't get the process last night, slicing the the onions and peeling them and all such as that and getting them into my roasting pan because I had to work quickly. I didn't have time to be cutting on a camera and off a camera. I'm serious. I had tears rolling down my face. It was, yeah, my eyes were burning by the time I got done. I had onion juice all over my glasses. I had to clean my glasses. So I got that done quickly last night off camera. And this morning, I will insert some pictures after this little clip showing you what I did last night and the next process. I'm doing it quickly this morning, getting started. I'm still in my pajamas. I got messy hair, but I put the onions in my roasting pan last night, and I just put a big old chunk of butter on top because I got about 12 pounds of onions in my roaster, and I let them caramelize on low all night long. They were too big for a crock pot, so I had to use my roaster. So I let them cook all night on low and caramelize and till like I wanted them. So this morning, what we're going to do is, I can talk you a little bit through this process. We have to work quickly with this too, because I don't want it to bother her eyes or mine again either. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these ready. We're going to jar them up, and then I'm going to make a broth using some beef broth and Lipton Onion Soup mix. Okay, then I'm going to heat that up, make my broth and the Lipton Onion Soup mix, heat that up, and then I'm going to ladle it in the jars, okay? Then clean my rims off, put my lids and rings on, and then I'm going to process them. I need to check and see how long I need to process them for, and I've got to go out to my building again and get my pressure cookers this morning. They get pressure cooked. I don't water bath them. So I will try to get some clips of the process, but I'm just kind of talking ahead right now through the process. And then after this clip, I will insert some pictures of the first step. I just had to get them done last night. So I'll try to walk you through the process, or I'll let you see it, and then I'll insert some photos and stuff too of the process. But this has to be done quickly before it starts getting her eyes. So she's on a job this morning, helping me open up the packets and stuff and get our broth going. So I'll walk you through the process and I'll let you see some. So y'all just hold tight. And then I'm going to tell you what all you can do with these after we get them canned. So many ideas, y'all. So I'll give you some ideas when we're done. All right, we're going to stir these onions again. Oh, yeah. Keep them stirred. Good.
Can I stir mine?
Well, you don't really have anything to stir it with. I've got to add water to that to make our broth, okay?
But
I tell you what, when I get water in it, I'll let you stir it, and we're going to open up that pack of seasonings right there. And I'll let you stir it, okay? Oh, these are smelling good. They're not as bad this morning. They're not going to bother our eyes as bad this morning. I think I may get maybe 10 jars out of this. Alright. Let them keep doing their thing. You keep doing your thing, girlfriend. Let me move this.
Your girlfriend.
Your girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
And we have fun in the kitchen. Okay? I don't know what a pencil and a paper towel roll is doing in here. Oh, did you drop one?
No, I dropped some paper.
Oh, okay. We can pick up the paper in a minute.
It's under the stool.
Okay, we'll get it in a minute. All right, let's see. After you get, we'll see how many that makes because we're going to heat this on the stove, okay? I didn't have beef stock right on hand, already ready, so we're making some. We're going to melt this down, then we're going to put our seasonings in. Lipton Onion Soup next for extra flavor. Oh, okay, let's see how many you got. Let me come around that. Don't drop it. Let's see. I'm going to say for about 10 quarts. We're going to need some more. You ready to do some more? Don't get your hands in them. They'll stick. You want to help me? You don't want to do any more? You done with this part? Okay. I need to open up just a little bit more. See how many we're going to have. And if I need to add some more, I can heat these up when they're on the stove and they'll melt pretty quickly. There you go. Just open it up like a piece of gum. There you go. Okay, she changed her mind. Blah, Caroline. Put it in there. We'll see how many we get. And then we'll have to add water to that. And then we'll add this pack of seasoning, okay? So you're going to finish that job for G-Mom? Oh, that one goes over here. Very good. It's okay. It's all right. We can get it out. We'll play with this and we'll see if we need any more when it starts melting on the stove. Now, if I need some more, like to fill up my jars, we might have to do another batch. That's what the other packet is for, okay? Okay, got it? You got just a few more to go, and then we'll put some water in there, and we'll see how much this makes. We might have to make another batch, okay? Whoa, okay? Ping! Ping!
Bingo, bingo.
All right, let's take a pause and boom. Let's take a pause in case y'all are snoozing. Let's take a pause and we'll get some of this together and we'll see how much this makes. See how much this makes to go in the jars. So we'll do that. Okay, now stir and I will help start pouring some hot water in. This is kind of heavy, so I can't let you pour this. It's kind of heavy. Stir. You're doing such a good job. I may have to get some more water. I need to see how much this is going to make. Ooh, there we go. May have to get some more water. Let's see how much this is going to make. We may have to heat it up on the stove too. Did you open up all those cubes? That don't look like enough. I can tell you, we're probably going to have a whole bunch. Well, because we got a lot of onions here. So we're going to have to do a bunch. Because we got quarts. So that right there is probably only going to fill up about 3 or 4 quarts.
But can I put them in?
Yeah, you want to put the cubes in some more? I tell you what, go ahead and put this in. You've been chomping at the bits to put that in there. Oh, wait. Just tear it off the top like that. Now pour it in there.
What is that?
That is more seasonings. We'll do 1 pack for right now. Make sure it's all in there. Make sure it all comes out. Do you hear any more? Check your bag real good. Good job. All right? Yes, you can stir. You stir and I'll add some more and then we'll get this on the stove to boil, okay? I'm improvising because I didn't have stock already in the cans and in the whatever. So I'm just making my own. So I'm having to improvise. It would probably be quicker if you had your own broth. I don't have any, so, and I want beef broth, so I have turkey broth on hand, but in jars, but not beef broth. There you go. Oh, that's splashy. All right, just a few more. Whoa, that one's tearing apart. We'll have to wipe off the counter when we get done. It's like salt in your hand when they break apart, okay? Are you stirring for Gmo?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that splash. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting good.
It's getting there. Alright, let's keep stirring, and I'll probably have to do another batch. Listen, I may have to add some more water, so let's see. Let's get in here and let's get it the consistency that we want, and then we'll need to put it on the stove, okay? You keep stirring, girlfriend. Okay, y'all, I'm going to show you this next step. I'm going to have to kind of like talk through this quickly. We just got a phone call from the school. The older granddaughter is running a low-grade fever. The school nurse called. So one of us is going to have to get ready to go pick her up. So I'm going to talk you through this next process quickly. And then the next process, I might just have to do a voiceover because I'm going to be taking care of her. And I'll try to finish it up. I'm sorry, but you know what? Life happens. And when they get sick, you got to drop everything and take care of those babies. So, Poppie took the littlest one to go pick her up at school. So, I'm kind of like by myself right quick so I can show you this process. Let me turn you around. I've got my station all fixed up. As you saw, I had my broth going. I was warming up my jars. Those are finishing caramelizing. I've got my lids and rings right here in some hot water. Got my ladle. I got my funnel. Okay, so what I'm fixing to do now is remember me telling you. Let me chit-chat a minute. You remember me telling you, when you can, make sure everything is the same temperature. I've got hot food, hot broth, so I'm going to need hot jars. That's why I heated them up in the oven, just on 200. Just enough to temper them, get them warm to accept the hot food and the hot liquid. I do not want cracked jars after doing all this hard work, okay, and crying all night, okay? So everything needs to be the same temperature. When I get my pressure cookers out, I will put some, I will go ahead and start turning it on and letting it get the water inside the pressure cooker hot so everything matches. I don't want to shock my jars when I put them in that water in the pressure cooker, okay? So I've still got to get my book out and figure out how long to pressure cook onions for. I'll need to look. I'm doing quarts, so I'll look in my book, okay? So the next step will be pressure cooking them, and then I'll know by then how many minutes I need to do it. Now, I'm not gonna, since I've got to do this quickly, I'm not gonna talk through the process of how to pressure can, use a pressure canner, because for beginners, if you want to know the proper way how to pressure can something and understand the dynamics of a pressure canner, I believe I walked through this process canning carrots. So go to my canning carrots video and I'll walk you through that whole process of how to bring it, let it vent and look for that steam coming out of the vent hole. And then you let it vent or steam for 10 minutes. Then you put your weight on, let it come up to your pressure, whatever pressure for your altitude. Mine is 10 here, 10 pounds pressure. And then when it reaches that pressure on your gauge, or if you have the one that jiggles or rotates, when it starts rotating or jiggling or on your gauge, it comes up to that pressure, then you start timing. Okay? I know I just blurted that out really quick, but I'm sorry. I have to at this moment. I can't even talk. I explain in detail on my canning carrots video how to properly use a pressure canner. So just go back to that one, and it shows you detail everything. The steam to look for, steady flow of steam, what my gauge is, and the good thing, I used 2 pressure cookers. One has the bobbler, the jiggler, the rotator. One has the gauge. So you'll see an example of both canners. So go check that out before you start the process if you're not for sure how. Better yet, watch that video first so you will feel more comfortable if you're a beginner using a pressure canner, a pressure cooker, okay? These are not water baths. It's completely different. So go check out that video first to calm your nerves a little bit and to feel more comfortable with the process, and you'll know what to look for. So I'm going to prop you up right here. While they're gone, I'm going to film this process. I may film the next process, but I may just have to do a voiceover, okay? In between taking care of a sick grandbaby. And then we'll go from there, okay? So I'm going to prop you up and let you watch this process on a few jars. I won't make you watch all of them, but you'll get the gist. So let me prop you up. Okay, like I said, I'm still in my pajamas, y'all, because I needed to get this done this morning because the oldest one was getting out of school today and coming to spend the night anyway. So I didn't want to be doing all this tonight and not getting to play with her. So since she's been in school all week and she hasn't got to do much. So I'm just going to kind of go in an assembly mode. So I'm going to, jars are still hot. So I'm going to take a scoop of my onions. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. I'm probably still going to make a mess. I'm probably going to put 2 scoops in each jar. I'm not going to fill the jar completely up with onions and then put broth, because this is going to be, okay, I can go ahead and spit out all this while I am quiet and I'm doing this. I'll tell you what this is going to be. This is going to be used for a number of things. This is going to be like your caramelized onions that you can take out of the jar to put on top of your meat, cube steaks, hamburger steaks, deer steaks. Anything that you use caramelized onions for, you've got them in the jar. The broth you can use after you get your onions out. You dump the broth into a saucepan and you can thicken it up with cornstarch slurry, or you can make a gravy. There you go. There's you a meal right there, okay? So make a roux of oil or butter and some flour, okay? Equal parts. Let that bubble up, turn just a little brown, then pour the liquid, still hot, blooper. Then pour your warm broth or your broth that's in the jar into the saucepan and make a gravy. So you've got your onions you can take out of the jar, put on your meat, then make a gravy, okay? Or if you don't want to make the gravy, you can still thicken it up by taking the broth and putting it in a saucepan and making the cornstarch slurry. Now, that's one use. Number 2, if you're making a roast, You've already put your meat in the crock pot. Then put your potatoes, put your carrots, put your celery, whatever you put in your roast. Open up a jar of this, pour on top. You've got your broth and your onions. You're welcome. There's meal number 2, okay? Just from one jar. Now, if you still want it a little thicker, then that's where the cornstarch slurry comes in. If you want a thicker gravy in your roast, okay, or your stew. If you want it to turn into a stew, make the cornstarch, you do your recipe. I just gave you the idea, okay? If you want it thicker, do the cornstarch slurry. A cornstarch slurry is just a tablespoon of cornstarch and about 2 tablespoons of water. Stir it up, then pour it in there. As it cooks, it thickens the gravy or the broth, okay? So there's meal option number 2. Meal option number 3 is you can turn this into a French onion soup. You're welcome. French onion dip, 4 roast beef sandwiches. That's 4 from 1 jar of caramelized onions with some broth in it. That's 4 meal ideas right there, okay? So so that's the reason why I'm not just going to have all onions in here, because I'm going to be using these for different things. So I may not want just a clump of onions, okay? Like this, I'm just probably going to do, they're getting cooled off. I'm probably going to do a little more than a quarter. See right there? The light. I'm sorry. Let me get you where there's no light. See, I've got like a little more than a quarter, but not half. Like I said, I don't want a big clump of onions. This is going to be enough for me and my husband, and he's going to have some onions on top of his hamburger steak. I'm going to have some on mine, okay? So that's enough for 2 people, I think. All right, let's get another jar. Move my funnel. Yeah, I'm just having to do this quickly. I'm going to get this process done because I can be taking care of that grandbaby while these are processing. She comes first. So, let me see how many I got. Okay, I need just a teeny tiny bit more in there. It's hard for me to see because I got everything in front of me. So I'm having trouble seeing the bottom of the jar. That should do it right there. I'm going to do one more jar, then I'm going to take you through the next process so you don't have to watch me do all of them. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes. I'm sorry, I just got me an assembly line here, so we're going to get a good scoop. I may get 6 to 8 jars. We'll see. I know I'm going to need another one. Now, the next thing I'm going to do to these jars is I have my stick. When I get the liquid in there, before I put the lids and rings on, I'm going to have to debubble to get those air bubbles out, y'all. All right, let's see how much is in here. Little more. I'm probably going to get about 6 jars maybe. That's okay. Every time onions goes on sale, right now, while I'm home during the fall and winter months, I'm going to be canning some. I'm going to can some more. Then the next batch I get, I'm just going to put in the freezer. I cut them up. I don't blanch them or anything because we use them like on pizzas and throw in dishes. So I don't blanch them. I just slice them, bring them home, slice them, dice them, whatever. And then I just put them in vacuum seal bags and put them in the freezer. They're fine. All right, that's 3. So let me show you the next process. I'm going to try to move this back just a tad where y'all can still at least see. Stir my broth up. All right, let's get my ladle, and we're going to start with this jar. And I'm just going to start very carefully, if I don't spill it, ladling this in the jar. Oh, y'all, it is smelling good in my kitchen right now. It's already smelling like French onion soup in my kitchen. I wouldn't advise putting cornstarch in here at this point. Canning cornstarch does not work so good, okay? So wait until you open this jar to do that. I saw some wheels turning and I saw some people fixing to ask that question. I just answered it for you. Don't do that. All right, we're going to go to a 1-inch headspace. And this Lipton Onion Soup mix has got a little bit of chunked onions in it too, so that's just going to give it more flavor. I'm just going to do 1 jar through the assembly line and then take a pause and then do the rest of them, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like. So let's move this over. I need my wet rag. I knew I had it somewhere. All right, we're going to bring this over here. I'm going to have to put these on a towel because, y'all, these new countertops we just put in, I really don't want them to crack. So I'm going to set this right here. For this process, I'm going to set it right there so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to wipe off my rim. Oh, that's hot, y'all. My rim. Did I turn my oven off? Yes. Okay. Nope, but I didn't cut my stove off. I got to go cut my stove off, y'all. Okay. I'm wiping my rim to make sure there's nothing that's going to interfere with that rubber seal. Okay. Now I'm going to get, this is all ready to where I can touch it so I'm not burning myself. Okay. Put your lid and your ring on. Finger tight, and then just give it a little barely, just enough for the ring is on there. Okay. Then I'm going to, that's how you do that. Y'all look at this goodness. I'm going to raise it up just a little. Look at that goodness. Can you see it? Can you smell it? Look at that. I'm sorry the lighting is not so good in here. Let me see if I hide the light. Now can you see it? Look at those chunks of onion. Awesome, y'all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this process. Then I'm going to have to like bundle up, throw some clothes on. I'm not going out there in my shimmy tail. So I've got to go out there and retrieve my 2 pressure cookers. And I'm going to finish these, go get my pressure cookers. Then I may just have to do a voiceover or maybe pictures on the next part. Depends on how the grandbaby feels when she gets here. Because I take care of her. I'm very nurturing. I'm the kind that will put you on the couch or in the bed and tuck you in and bring you what you need, and I'm just that kind, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to finish this process, go get my pressure cookers, bring them in, get my water in it up to where I won't shock my jars, and then we will start the next process. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Let me turn my stove off. Okay, so I will bring y'all back in just a little bit. Okay, y'all, I wound up so far having 8 jars. I've got to make just a little bit more broth and the soup mix just for 2 more jars. Wouldn't you know it, I almost had enough. But I'm going to do that real quick and then get these all jarred up. I'll let you see what they look like. And y'all caught me, didn't you? I caught myself. I didn't debubble that first jar. I went back and corrected myself. Now they're all debubbled, except for these 2 jars that I've still got left over here that I need to just brew up a little more broth and take care of those. So I've got all my lids and rings on. That is the seasonings and stuff coming to the top, the broth. Now, there is a little bit of butter in here too because I caramelized these onions first. Now, everybody's like, that's not caramelized onions because they ain't all the way brown. It just depends on how well you like your onions caramelized, okay? So, after these are canned and they cool off and they're in your pantry, you will probably see some butter gelling at the top when they cool off. Right now, this is just like, you know, the broth, okay? But when you, and it's mixing with the butter. When they cool off, look at that richy goodness, y'all. Oh my gosh. Y'all, these tasted so good. I just grabbed the onion and taste tested it, and they're already good without even putting them in the pressure cooker yet. So when these are cooled off and you put them in your pantry, you are probably going to get some butter that's going to gel and go to the top. That's okay, because you know what? You can butter. Don't be scared of it, okay? So butter's probably going to come to the top and gel when these cool off in the pantry. That's fine, because when you open up that jar and you dump it in that pan, it's going to melt again anyway. So now they're all debubbled, even this first one that I started. So see, this one's already settling down, okay, compared to the new ones I just did. All right, so I'm going to make me up some more broth. The morning sun's coming in here. Well, make me up some more broth to finish these last 2 jars, get them all ready, go get my pressure cookers, and then start the process a little bit. Got to get my book. Sometime in here today, I'm going to get in the shower, hopefully. Okay, but I knew this just had to be done this morning because I didn't want to be in the kitchen all day. I wanted to play with these grandbabies today. So, because one of them has just waited all week long. We've counted down the days till it was Friday where she could spend the night. So, I'm going to hurry up and get all this done. And like I said, the next one I may just have to just do a little short clip and in the video because I'll need to take care of her. So, yes, I did debubble. Okay, I caught myself. I went back and corrected it. So let's wrap up. The next video will probably, or clip will be of me getting them in there and processing them. And then when they come out, they cool off and they come out of the pressure cooker, I'll let you see how well they did, okay? So y'all just stay tuned. Okay, y'all. Sorry, wind's blowing again. I just had to go outside and get my pressure canners. I'm about to burn up. I'm sorry. That's all you're going to get right there is neck up. I went out there, got my pressure canners, 2 of them. I have the gauge and I have the bobbler, okay? One's my grandmother's, one is mine that my husband bought me. So I properly took care of my pressure canners, washed, made sure nothing was around. Let me turn you around. Made sure nothing was around this rim. Made sure my gauge is clean. Made sure this is cleaned out. Okay. Made sure around here is clean. Made sure I washed around the inside of this rim. I took my seal out, my gasket, my rubber gasket. Cleaned this real good. I even oiled my rubber seal. That's how you take care of your seals, y'all, on your pressure canners, is I just do mine with some oil, and it also helps lubricate it a little bit to get it ready for the sealing process, okay? So I've properly taken care of my pressure canners, both of them. I've already got these jars in here. I had warm water. My jars are warm, so now it's beginning to heat up a little more. I'm fixing to put my lid on, and then I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes until I see that little stream of steam, yeah, coming out the vent hole. Let me get my lid on here right quick. Okay, had to have 2 hands for that. All right, I've got my lid on. This is cleaned out. Now, I'm going to let this start heating up. I've got it on high. I'm going to let it start heating up, and steady steam coming out of here for 10 minutes. And you'll be able to see the steady white steam coming out. That's on the inside. The steady flow of steam coming out. That's called venting. So we're going to let it vent and let it steam for 10 minutes. Then I will put my little bobbler on. It will come up to 10 pounds of pressure, but mine has a sweet spot, y'all. About 11 or 12 is my sweet spot for this canner on my stove. Everyone is going to have a sweet spot, so you're just going to have to look at it. Now, when I looked in my book, I couldn't find anything on onions, so I'm like following kind of like soup. And what I found on the internet too, on the website, is 10 pounds pressure for 40 minutes for quarts. Okay, and that's what I've got. So vent, steady flow of steam for 10 minutes, put my bobbler on, let this come up to my sweet spot, which is after 10, it's going to be 11 or 12. I don't know why my gauge has got to be persnickerty, but it does. Yours may be off, a notch or two. So you may want to take it to your county extension office and get it checked out. I may do that when I get done with all this canning. All right, so then I'm going to let it come up 10 pounds. When it gets to my sweet spot, 10 pounds or more, when it gets to my sweet spot, then I'll start timing it for 40 minutes. Let it process for 40 minutes. Then cut it off. I can either let it cool on the stove, but since I have a glass top stove, that's not really a good idea. I don't let things cool off on top of my glass top stove. A lot of people have a fear of canning on glass top stove. I've done it for the past 3 years and haven't had any problems. But don't let don't let things cool down on top of your stove. I remove mine from the heat and put it over here and let it come down and release all the pressure. Never take a lid off or a bobbler or jiggler or rotator off your pressure canner until it completely gets back down to 0 and releases all of that pressure that's built up in there, okay? Or you're going to... Okay, don't do that. And if you take the jiggler off and let it finish releasing a steam like you do on an Instant Pot, these are not Instant Pots, y'all. You can't take that off and let all that steam out all at one time. You can't do that. These are completely different. These are for canning purposes only. If you take that bobbler off or that jiggler or that rotator and there's still steam in there, you're liable to crack all of your jars because you're letting the pressure out too quick. Set it off, let it cool, get all of that out of there, come down to 0 if it has a gauge, or release all that pressure before you take that bobbler off and before you take that lid off. Please, I do not want anybody to get hurt, okay? That is a safety tip, okay? So we're going to do that. I usually rotate canners. I have one ready for when that one's cooling off to just rotate. So I'm going to get some more broth made. I'm going to finish filling up those jars, debubbling, wiping the rims, putting the caps and lids on, getting them in my pressure canner, getting them ready to go when that one gets done. So we will see y'all, and I'll probably just go ahead and do that, then bring you back and see the final ending results, okay? Maybe by then I'll have a shower. Okay, we'll see y'all back in a minute. You feeling okay? No. She's running fever. We got her comfy. Okay. Okay, y'all. I got all these done, and I was able to go take a shower, y'all. Poppie watched after a sick grandbaby and watched after the canner and helped me keep up time with it. So I got me a quick shower. Whew, very quick. But anyway, while those were processing and he was babysitting, I got these done. And I got that canner off. I got this last canner going. This one is already done, cooled off. I've got the jars out on a cutting board, and I'll let you see what they look like, y'all. And I got one acting goofy in there. Look at this rich. Yes, look at that. They're still bubbling. Look at those, y'all. It smells so good in here. Rich golden color. Of course, by the light, you may not be able to tell. Let me see if I can get... Sorry. The light is coming in my window, and it makes it look lighter than what it is. But right here, to me looking, it's like a golden color. So there you go. And I've got the other canner over there. We're going to process that one. And then it's going to be our nap time. Yes. I'm that age. I have to have a break halfway through my day so I can go for round 2 when I get up. And she needs a nap. So I've gave her some Tylenol. She's gonna be okay. Flu and RSV and strep throat is going around these schools so bad right now. So there is, y'all, at least 4 to 5 things that you can do with just a jar of broth and caramelized onions. You've got a meal ready to eat or a condiment ready to eat. And I thought of another one, cream of onion soup. Put some cream in there with that. Little bit of thickener if you want it a little thicker. You got cream of onion soup. So y'all, there is 5 things right there that you can do. And I'm going to break it down a little further for you. Let's see, that was 12 pounds of onions. Because they were 3-pound bags, I got 4 bags and they were $2 a piece. So that is 2 times, y'all, I just went blank. I got 4 bags, 3-pound onions, $2 a piece. So $2 for 3 pounds. Oh my gosh, y'all, come on, help me do the math. I'm tired. Okay, see, I wasn't good at math. Okay, anyway, that's how much I spent on 12 pounds of onions. Okay, so let's see. What was that? $8. Yeah, it just came to me. $8. Oh my gosh, y'all, I got 2, 4, 6, 8. There you go. $8 for 12 pounds of onions. And I've got 10 jars out of those. Okay, now you know onions, when they're cooked, they're going to sweat down and they're going to shrink. So if you want more, you're going to need more than 12 pounds of onions, okay? But my roaster was full last night before I went to bed. So there you go. I've got 10 jars full of rich, creamy, oniony goodness, and I can do 4 or 5 things with 12 pounds of onions for $8. You're welcome. I'm going to finish this canner, take care of a grandbaby, then we're going to take naps. We were going to go out to eat tonight just as a treat because they're spending the night. And yeah, I don't think we're going to be going anywhere if she doesn't feel good. So there you go. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I hope y'all try it. And I'm sorry it was quick. It's just, y'all, life happens, okay? Parents have to work. Grandparents step in and help. I've always been there for my kids when they need me. Where the grandbabies are concerned, that's where God blessed me at, and this is where he put me, and this is what I do. This is my calling, okay? I'm glad I'm able to help, and be there when one of them gets sick, when the parents have to work, okay? That's life, okay? I'm blessed. So if y'all try this, come back to this video and please let me know how they work out for you and how you use them. If you've got more ideas than the ones that I gave you, tell me. Give me some more ideas I can use these for. I'm thinking, smothered pork chops. Oh my gosh, y'all, my mouth is beginning to water. I'm going to get over here and eat my little bit of lunch. She's eating just a little bit, nibbling. I think I'm fixing to get her some Jell-O. She's drinking some Gatorade. So, and then this other one's about to bounce off the walls. But she's been helping take care of Cece too. She brought her some juice while ago, and she checked on her, so she'll be all right. So if y'all try these, let me know. Let me know how they turn out. And I hope y'all like this. More stuff is coming. See y'all later.